Usually we just say, who wants to volunteer? Okay, what's your favorite food and why? And you have 1 to 2 minutes to speak about it. But tonight we're going to do some Pecha Kucha. I'm going to give each speaker 6 slides, and the 6 slides will stay there for 20 seconds each, and I'll be controlling those slides. And your job is to discuss each slide, or maybe tell a long story that goes along with each slide. And I have some additional instructions. All you need to know right now, though, is that there's going to be 6 slides for 20 seconds each, and you have to speak with those slides. Now, this is a chance for anybody in this room to speak. You can be a member, you can be a guest. We prefer to have people speak who don't have a role, if your name is not on the agenda. But if nobody's volunteering, feel free volunteering. And if nobody volunteers, I'll pick somebody. There are going to be 6 different categories, and I'll tell you those categories when we get the first person up here, and you get to choose which category you want. Any questions? All right. So let me make sure our visuals are working. Awesome. Does anybody want to be the first volunteer tonight? All right, Kurt, come on up. It's very possible that this is Kurt's last meeting, so let this moment live in your mind forever. All right, so Kurt, this is a chance for you to not only use visuals, but to hopefully try to keep eye contact as much as possible. We don't want you to stand here and speak to us like this, all right? I promise. All right, so Kurt, I'm going to give you 6 categories. You get to choose which one. Funny story, graphs, sports, strange photos, faces of KH1, and faces of KH2.
Strange photos.
Strange photos. Okay, Kurt, your job is to simply explain what's happening in each photo. You can tell stories, you can give descriptions, you can do whatever you want. All right. Are you ready, Kurt?
I'm ready.
Go.
Sometimes I feel like I'm living in a bubble. A bubble that I consider my Korean environment. Although joining KH inside the great country of Korea is one of the best decisions I've ever made. It was the opportunity for me to commit to a club and stick with it. Unfortunately, I also commit too long sometimes to the bathroom. And my wife, who I've also committed to, and is probably the best commitment I ever made, gets mad that I stay in the bathroom too long. Speaking of the toilet, the water sometimes is crystal clear. And that is not only one of my favorite things about traveling, not only in Korea but throughout the world, but is the crystal clear sense I get when I am trapped in my marriage with my wife. I love that it is so clear that it is the only thing I will ever, the only partner I will ever have. It is wonderful. Sometimes I feel like a caged animal, but that's only occasionally. Going back to another commitment in my life, KH, there are some certain members that I would love to strangle. Unfortunately, they are not here tonight. But later, I'll point them out in each out. I'll point them out from a distance, and then we'll all snicker and laugh at them. I can tell you that they are some of the members that I met here perhaps 2.5 years ago. I think it was summer of 2008. It was when I first joined KH.
All right. Awesome. Kurt actually took a very unique route. He tried to tell one long story. Even though I said explain each picture, he told one long story. As a speaker, you're free to do whatever you want. Tell stories, give examples, ask questions. It's up to you. This is your stage. Can I have a second volunteer? He took one of the hardest ones, too. Volunteers, members and guests. Anyone can volunteer. Let's see, let me look at the agenda here. Let's go with Inhi. Inhi, you don't have a role tonight. Come on up, Inhi! All right, Inhi, your choices are bunny story, graphs, sports, faces of KH1 or faces of KH2. Graphs, okay. Inhi, you are going to explain each graph. You're going to get 6 graphs. They're 20 seconds each. You've got to look at the graph and tell us what does the graph represent, all right? You're a scientist, so... Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, can you see this graph? It's very unique. You can see each spot has the meaning. Tonight I show you each meaning of this spot, and actually there are many situations and we can explain using this graph, like this graph, and this graph explain all the situation and you can use it with it can explain everything anyway. It's the one example. It's the rate of our Korean maize smoking rate, and it decreased. And as you can see, it's the rate of the passive. Yeah, this is my favorite greens. All right there. There is some food inside. Anyway, it helps you. You can be very healthy with this 8 ingredients, and especially I prefer that one. And this is not a graph. This is not a graph, but it can show us the page 1 to 3 has the same portions, and you can use it, and we can get a profit with this state, even state. And for using, I explain a bit, but as you can learn about the graph, you can see the whole economics and business and time management and time.
That was one of the other hard ones. We have someone in the back without a chair. Let's move this back here for you, sir. Thanks, Doctor. Yeah. All right. We have more time, more volunteers. Would anyone like to try? Here's what we have left. Sports, faces of KH1, faces of KH2, and bunny story. All right, Gian, come on up. Which one would you like? Okay, faces of KH. You explain, you're going to see 6 different members of our club. And there's a picture, I got them all off of Facebook, so it's nothing scandalous. Explain what they're doing, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, anything you want. Tell stories, give examples. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, actually, it looks like curd, but then it's from Gyeongnyang-tien. So who is it? Who is this woman? Kate? Really?
Russian spy.
Yeah, I think it's a Russian spy. And I heard that it was a big on Russian news that the girl named Alexandra became. Oh, she looks like me, isn't she? And why a beast? I mean, Ron doesn't know it anymore. She made a mistake. And she was gonna sing here. Okay. I mean, who would wanna hear her singing? I mean, they would prefer me. And who is this guy, Brendan? Brendan? Yeah, I'm here. Actually, today's my motto is here. Hey, let's flood all this picture. Today, so my problem is, I was embarrassed today, and we should commit to our life and live to the fullest. And what's Jay? So today my thing was be embarrassed. Yeah, I was embarrassed before, so you want to go all the way. So I'm gonna be embarrassed here, okay? And Jay, good luck on your important test He almost fooled all of us, but we know even with your hair. Here's Tim and Arthur.
Once again, I just want to make a mention, all of those photos we just saw are from Facebook. The other photos come from Corvus.com. This is one of the best image websites you can find online. We've got time for 2 more. We have left Faces of KH2, Sports, and Bunny Story. Any volunteers? Kate, come on up. Bunny Story. Okay, Bunny Story is a little bit different. In Bunny Story, you should try to tell one long story for the 2-minute time limit. There's every pictures of a bunny, and what it is, it's each phase of the bunny's life. So try to tell the bunny's life story. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, my bunny's name is Bob. Bob is a very smart bunny. Bob never pees on the carpet. Bob never asks for food and just sits there quietly and waits for the food to be given to him. And I do enjoy having him as my pet. I usually take him for a walk, and he runs around, and sometimes he even tries to hit on other bunnies, but then I say, "No, Bob, no!" And then take him home. He wouldn't do it, and wouldn't mess around when I take him for a walk. Children love Bob. Whenever they see Bob, they try to cut off his ears. They think it's kind of fun to cut off the ears of the bunny, but his all ears are there still. Even though children love to play with him. He has a lot of children around him all the time. He actually spends time with children during 2 semesters, fall semester and spring semester. He does tricks. He does tricks to entertain them, and that's how he earns his living. He's a pretty smart bunny. He brings money home. With his tricks, he actually educates those kids, and kids love him for that. But still, it's nothing more than a trick that brings the money. Well, I'll tell you what. There was another bunny named Miran. They met one day, and I decided to take Miran home also. So now they live happily together, those 2 bunnies. And when Bob Bunny grew up, a mature bunny, I let him free to live his life, educate the kids in the university, and live his life happily ever after.
Thank you. Happily ever after. All right, we do have time for 2 more. We've got 2 more left. We have sports, where you explain each sport, or Faces of KH2. Come on up, Brendan. Faces of KH2. I was hoping you would pick that one.
Right before he gets the PowerPoint ready, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you all about what will happen to you if you come to each second round and you decide you're going to have a lot of opportunity to sit next to people in KH Toastmasters, and this is what's going to happen to you if you sit next to these people.
3, 2, 1, go.
I love sitting next to Brahm at Isha because, first of all, Brahm's a very interesting guy. He's very well read. He's very knowledgeable. The one thing is you don't want to let Brahm have too many shots because then he gets into conversations about math. Few people know this, but Brahm studied math in university, and there's a lot of great conversations about basketball, and we have a new person. This is Lauren, lovely Lauren. She's going to tell you all about all her millions of travels she somehow affords, and I'm never really sure why. She just came back from India. Where was it before that? Thailand. That's always fun. Oh, Val. I love sitting next to Val and Icha. First of all, he's the first one to pour you a beer, so you know you like that. He's also got a wonderful kid he's going to tell you. He'll probably show you one of the 15 or 16 pictures he carries around. Cute as heck. So, of course, you're always going to have a good time next to Val. Oh. Who doesn't like to sit next to Jenny? Obviously, we don't get to see as much of Jenny around here as we'd like to because she's also committed to another Toastmasters club. When she comes to Icha, get your butt down next to Jenny. You're going to have a great time. If you're interested in having a very interesting time, it's going to be a little less like you're in a bar and more like you're in some weird acid flashback. When it's over, you definitely won't deny you didn't have a great time. I always enjoy it. Sarab, our man of the world. When you sit next to Sarab, he's great because he's a great listener, and he'll just ask you questions, and he'll let you talk, and he'll tell you virtually nothing about his life, which is so interesting. So if you ever actually sit next to Sarab, please ask him about his life, because he doesn't like to talk about himself.
Good, interesting spin with the Icha. All right, we've got one more, and the last one is sports. And the way sports works is there's 6 sports photos, and you have to basically explain to aliens that came to Earth, not to Korea, aliens that came to Earth, what is this sport and how do you play it? I think this is probably the easiest one. So I want to ask, is there any guest who would like to explain the 6 sports that you see? Any guest? All right. I won't force a guest to do it. Sometimes we force people to do it. I think tonight, though, our final speaker should be Kenny. Come on, Kenny. All right, Kenny. 6 sports, 20 seconds each. Remember, we're all aliens. Off of your phone. We don't know anything about sports. Tell us, what is the sport and how do you play it, all right? 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, yes. It's called as soccer. So you play with a small ball, and we only use the foot and kick the ball. But please don't hit someone. Please focus on the ball and kick the ball at the ball. And I never played this sport, so I cannot explain well. But in ours there is so many snow and so beautiful mountain, and you can down the hill with the ball, and it's baseball. And actually I never interested in the baseball, so I can explain very well. But you may know so many people are very the areas you may be very low
are scientists, but I cannot explain well about there are some mechanic in there, but the aliens can make
Oh.
more better machine. It's some kind of sport, yeah. I play maybe with the girlfriend. You know this sport, what I mean? I don't know.
Kickboxing, soccer.
All right. Yeah. All right, so we usually call for a timer's report, but we kind of ripped off the timer because everyone spoke for 2 minutes. A little bit different tonight. Just want to remind everybody, if you make visuals, we were going to have some other visual aids tonight. This is a great website, Corvus.com. It's much better than Google Images. I'm going to pass this back to our Toastmaster, Tim.
Val, would you like to talk about second round before we go for intermission?
Yes. Second round is what we usually, for all the guests, for second round is usually what we do immediately after the meeting ends, which is usually go to a bar, drink a bit, eat a bit, and just let loose and socialize and talk about anything and everything, whatever. Second round will happen at Bar Mario tonight. And Bar Mario is kind of cool in the way that if you buy one drink, you are almost guaranteed to get a plate of some kind of munchies to go with it at no additional cost to you. You can't beat that with a stick. So at the end of this meeting, please just follow any member towards Bar Mario, and you should be all right, and it should be fun.
We need a head count.
Oh, we need a head count. Okay. Raise your hand if you are able to commit to Icha tonight. Raise your hand.
All the fun people are going to go Mario.
13.
Sweet. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, we will have a quick intermission. Please be back in this room promptly at 8:55. It's approximately 7 minutes.
All right, Val.